I'm Kimberly from Dirt Floor Fibers, and thanks for joining me for another vlog post. Today is Tuesday, January 25th, but it does feel a little bit like Christmas in January. I went to the post office today to pick up my Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club subscription package, which just came in the mail today, but more about that later. But while I was there, I also got several more packages, all related to a big project that's coming up. I'm not going to talk about that here because I'm planning on doing a whole vlog series about that. But this will be a little bit of a teaser, so maybe you can guess at what I'm up to. But the first thing that came in the mail is my new Addy egg. I really want to invest in one of the bigger Addy knitting machines. I've heard there's some of the better quality in terms of knitting machines, but they're really, really expensive and hard to find right now. I heard somebody say it was partially because of the pandemic and everyone decided to do kind of artsy things when they were stuck at home, and so there was a little bit of a shortage on the machines, and now they're really hard to import. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. I did find this one on Amazon for a fairly reasonable price. It seems like the larger knitting machines from Addy on Amazon are a little bit more expensive than what the normal retail price is, and so I've been kind of avoiding investing in one, at least until I can see the quality in my own hands, see if it's really worth the investment. I don't want them to make like machine knitted scarves or hats or anything. That seems like cheating to me. I like doing it by hands traditionally. But power to you if you like doing that. I'm not bad mouthing anyone who does that, but just not my preference. But I did want it for something else. But I figured I would start out with one of these guys and just see if I like the quality before investing in the other. I do have a project in mind for this, but just in case it doesn't work out, I'm not going to tell you what it is. But hopefully I'll do a post later once I figure out how to use this and I get it all up and running. Something else that I got came in this lovely little package from Lines in Clay. They have an Etsy shop, and they are, I know it's gonna be hard to see because I'm doing this vlog post at night, so I have all of my lights on, so it might be a little glary. Oh my goodness, I can't even get the package open. Let's try that again. So what I got from Lines in Clay, I don't know if you can see, oh, there we go. Focus is right there. It's a clay embosser, and I got a couple of them in really pretty floral prints, and these are their mini ones. There you go, you can see that right there. And they have larger ones. You can see these are like postage stamp size. And so this is for a clay project that's coming up, also still related to fiber arts though. So I'm excited to see if that one works out. Again, I'll put up a video if it does, or do a blog post. I'm trying to get some more items up on my website, and so over the next couple of months I will be building that, hopefully. I keep saying that and it never happens, but hopefully this time. And I apologize if you hear the puppy in the background. She was getting into mischief downstairs while I was up here in my studio, so I put her in her crate, and she is not happy about that at all. My next package is package number 3. Came in another little padded envelope, this time bright pink, and this is from Beadlanta, also something I found on Etsy. And what I got here were some lava beads. These are really pretty. I've never ordered from Beadlanta before, so I was kind of curious to see what the quality was. There we go. And so these are just, you can go into focus, different colored, textured beads. Although they aren't quite as porous as I was expecting, they might be okay. I probably should have gone with just the natural lava stones, because I think the dyed ones are sometimes a slightly different material. They are really pretty colors though, very, very earthy, but still bright and pretty. Again, earmarked for a project, so if it turns out, I'll let you know what that project is and I'll fill you in. And then my last, but not least, package that came in the mail was my fiber package. Now, I did tell you that this was January 25th. Yes, this package is super late. And actually when I first started this subscription package, back in, what was it, October, not last year, the year before, whatever that was, I've lost track of the years at this point. My first couple of packages were late by several weeks, but between then and now, I haven't had any other problems with the packages being on time. And Paradise Fibers was really great about sending out an email, apologizing and saying that the fiber for the package had gotten backed up at the, I guess their source, wherever they get it from. They were taking a while to get them, the fibers. And I'm not too upset about that because they were really proactive in reaching out. But I also like the fact that Paradise Fibers in their package usually features something that's new. It's not something that they just have on their website that they put together in a package and you're like, here, try something new. It's actually something that's literally new to their product line, which I really, really appreciate. I did read the spoiler for the January package, but that was like, what, 3 weeks ago at this point? So I cannot even remember what the spoiler or the theme was, but the package is lovely. It's this kind of geometric pink and white. So I'm excited to dive in and see what is inside. All right, have the package open. I can already see one of the bags is really sparkly, which is always fun. I love the organza bags they send. And the bag, the pink and white geometric design and the sparkly bag inside is fully explained by the theme for this month, which is Glitz and Glam. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to maybe pop in a picture later. It says, featuring our rhinestone-inspired glitter blend in Humbug Merino. So I'm not usually a huge fan of things that have synthetic fibers in it, but Paradise Fibers is usually very tasteful when they add a little bit of glitter. It's not too extreme or too much. And I'm curious as to what Humbug Merino is. So it says that we've got approximately 3 ounces of silver glitter merino, ring in 2022 with a dazzling blend of 70% natural undyed white merino wool top and 30% ultra sparkly silver stellina fiber. Okay, I take it back what I just said about them not usually putting in too much of the sparkle. A 70 to 30 ratio seems like a lot of sparkle. We're gonna have to see. I hope it's not itchy. I'd be ashamed to have beautiful merino and then make it itchy with the sparkles. It says, this brilliant blend is suitable for wet or dry felting and hand spinning to create a sparkly yarn or felted project with a glittering effect. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe doing like a felted scarf with the glitter, maybe? I don't know. Stellina is a fairly new fiber that is man-made from polyester and nylon. It is similar to Angelina Glitz, but with a softer and smoother hand. This next-to-skin soft blend is perfect for luxurious lace knitting or blending in with other fibers to add interest. And then we've got a Humbug Merino. It says another 3 ounces. I can't talk anymore. A minimally, yes, blended top that showcases the beauty of 2 contrasting shades of natural 23 micron merino wool top. This white and gray blend produces a barber pole effect in a finished yarn that is reminiscent of candy swirls. The Humbug candy that inspired this blend is a classic peppermint flavored twisty treat that has been savored as early as the 1820s. This unique blend is perfect for hand spinning, intriguing yarns, or wet and dry felting projects to produce natural depth. And I actually think I have kind of a similar fiber in my stash that I haven't played with yet, but what I really want to do with it is actually dye it. Because when you have the white and the brown or the gray or whatever color together and then you over dye it in another color, you get some really, really fun tonal colors. And so I'm curious about playing with that. So maybe I'll use that for that project as well. Then as usual, it tells us that we've got our vinyl sheep sticker, another stash tee, stitch marker, and a couple travel size packets of soak fiber washes. Celebration and scentless. I wonder what Celebration smells like. And then of course we also have our other card. that gives us some spinning suggestions. Like I always say, I don't always follow their spinning suggestions, but I always like hearing it. And so it looks like this month they're giving us some tips on spinning a thick and thin yarn. This is actually one of the things that I love about spinning, especially when I'm working with people who are just getting started, or even when I was just getting started, or if I'm having a bad day. The fact that there's all kinds of yarns out there, and so if you're trying to spin and your fiber is coming out a little more thick and thin than what you wanted it to be, all you have to do is go, oh, I did that on purpose. It's supposed to be a thick and thin yarn, right? It can be whatever it is you want it to be. So it says, sometimes the best way to showcase unique fibers is to transform it into unique yarn, and this is one of those. The contrast of the humbug merino seamlessly blends into the glamour of the glitter merino, and both are elevated to starstruck heights when spun in a thick and thin fashion. Beginners often gravitate toward this style of spinning, which many experienced hands covet the ability to do. The concept is simple, with some sections of the yarn being thin and others not so thin, and some even borderlining on pencil roving. There is no right or wrong way to achieve a thick and thin yarn. Truly, the more inconsistent, the better. A thick and thin yarn is displayed well in a simple pattern where its lumpy and bumpy texture can dance and shine. To achieve a yarn similar to the one pictured here, simply begin spinning as you normally would with one of the two fibers included in your bag this month. Draft more in some sections to create a thinner yarn and less in other sections to create a thicker yarn. As you spin, grab pre-pulled staples of the other fiber and sneak them into your drafting triangle to combine the two together in the finished single. In this case, you will have pops of glitter dappled throughout your already charismatic yarn. Leave as a single, ply onto itself, or ply with your favorite single. Most importantly, have fun and remember the comforting words of Bob Ross, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. Thank you, Bob Ross, who is fabulous. Love the man. All right, so we also have some tips from Karen. Pre-pull lengths of fiber for your slubs to make it easier to grab and insert them as you spin your single. Use the largest whirl and treadle slowly so you don't over twist. Twist will naturally want to congregate in thinner sections. To finish your single, remove from the bobbin and rinse in room temp water to set the twist. Remove from the water and wrap the skein up in a towel and squeeze out the excess water. To further set the twist and slightly felt the slubs, hold the skein and spin it around and thwack it against a chair a number of times. Have fun and enjoy the spin. So I have been working on trying to get singles yarn that I really like. By nature, it always ends up energized because you're not plying it in the other direction. And I've come close to stuff that I like, but I haven't been super happy with my finished singles, so I usually ply everything. But I don't know, maybe we'll give it another try with this fiber. So their suggestion for knitting of this month is called the Interrupted Cowl. Celebrate the new year and the end of the season with a delightfully cozy and warm thick and thin cowl. Bundle up with just the right amount of glitz that catches the light beautifully. This simple design displays the thick and thin texture of the suggested yarn this month perfectly, creating sections of slightly variegated cloud-like texture throughout the fabric. Let this easy-to-make cowl be the silver lining to your new year and use it to brave whatever life has in store for you. So it looks like they've spun two different types of fibers for this one, or not two different types of fibers, but two different styles. One skein was spun using the humbug to create thin sections of the yarn and glitter merino as thick sections. And then the other skein was spun using the glitter merino fiber to create the thin sections and the humbug to create the thick sections. Well, that's interesting. She knit with one yarn until it was gone and finished the cowl with the second skein. The finished cowl has lovely sections of thick and thin in both types of fiber. So this is a free Ravelry pattern. It says you need approximately 154 yards of bulky, thick and thin weight yarn. Yeah, so that's interesting. It's kind of a cool, let me see if I can, kind of a cool, thick, thin. Again, I'll try to see if I can get a better picture in there. Doing this in the dark means my lighting is like super bright here in the room, so everything's kind of glary. Let's go ahead and dig into the package and see what that looks like. All right, pulling it all out. So here is my sparkly organza bag. I'm assuming that's my glitzy merino. Oh, nope, was wrong, it's a humbug. Oh, that is really pretty. So, from the picture, I know the description said it was gray, but the picture made it look like it was brown, but no, it is a really pretty silver and white fiber. Nice and soft. Again, I was thinking about dyeing it up, but I really do like the color combination, so I'll have to see what the other one looks like. Because I might just want to leave it and actually try out their project. Get the other one open. It's in a really nice kind of a satin silver bag. Again, one of the things I appreciate about this particular yarn club is that, or fiber club, is that they always send it in reusable packaging, and so there's not as much waste as I've had with other ones. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. Again, might have to get a better picture when I have better lighting, but there is so much sparkle in here. I don't know if you can see, but you can definitely tell that it has a higher percentage of the glitter in it than usual. It's not itchy, but like I can feel it, and it has that little bit of synthetic feel to it because it has so much of the synthetic fiber in it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. The two next to each other though are very pretty. So that's what they look like next to each other. Again, I'll try to get a better picture when I have some better lighting. But it is just a really pale silver gray. And I can't tell in this lighting if the merino is silver or if that's just all of the, yeah. So my card does say that it's undyed white merino, but there's so much sparkle in it that it looks great, it really does. So when it's light outside, I'll take a minute and grab a picture of these because they're really, really interesting to compare. So that's fascinating. And 3 ounces of each. So I'm hoping I would be able to get the amount of yardage needed to make that cowl project that is super cute. So we have our last organza bag with our little extra treats in it. Here we have our soak fiber washes, little travel size. I think they've given this to us before. These are really nice. And then our breakfast in Paris tea. And finally, our shiny sheep sticker. Oh no. Hang on guys, emergency. There's supposed to be a stitch marker in here as well. Did I lose it? Oh. I'm sad, I didn't get my stitch marker this time. Oh, haha, nope. Paradise Fibers, I apologize to you. It's not you, it's me. It fell out of the package. Here we go. And here's our stitch marker. It just has that little crystal, and it's inside of kind of a little gold cage. Very sparkly, very cute. Again, I don't know if you can actually see it since the light is so bright. But yeah, have my little stitch marker. So that is our package for the month. Again, to review, we've got our 3 ounces of Humbug Merino Silver and White, and then our Silver and White Glitter Merino. We'll spin it up into a bulky yarn and see how that goes. All right, I'll check back in when the project's all finished. Bye for now. Seriously guys, this has got to be one of my fastest project turnaround times, like ever. So I think it was Tuesday night when I opened my package. I'll have to check the first part of the video to find out. I think it was Tuesday. Well, I was so excited about the fiber that I actually just sat down and started spinning it immediately after I had finished with the video. I even forgot to take a picture of the fiber, so oops, my bad. But basically what I did, I didn't bother measuring or anything. I just took both the sparkly fiber and the Humbug Merino and tore it roughly in half. I started, because it took me 2 bobbins, all 6 ounces wouldn't fit on the same bobbin. So then I started with the sparkly yarn, doing kind of a bulky, thick, thin kind of single. And then when I wanted to put in a tuft of the humbug merino, I basically just took the end of the roving and started, or the top I guess really it is, and plucked out pieces of the fiber, kind of like, hang on, I'll find one. All right, so this is not the fiber, but pretend it was the humbug merino. And so basically what I did is I took the end and I just pulled out kind of a staple length of fiber, and I did that a few times. So I had some fluffs saved up, and then I just introduced these to the sparkly single that I was spinning, and let it grab it in kind of a whole tuft, which meant it got hardly any spin into it. If that makes sense. And so I'll put up a picture of the fiber that I ended with, and I actually wasn't super happy with the way I was spinning. As I was doing it, I was like, this is horrible, I'm wasting all this great fiber. And then when I was done, I looked at the bottom and I'm like, wow, this still really stinks. And then I did it for the second half of the fiber and still hated it. Then I took it off the bobbin and still hated it. I didn't even give it my usual 24 hours to set and rest. I took it straight downstairs, filled up a sink with just above room temperature water. Normally I go for as hot as the tap will get, but I decided to go a little bit cooler this round. Put the fibers in. Normally I agitate them pretty well when I'm setting my twist, but because they were singles, I was kind of worried that I would felt them together a little bit too much. So I was a little more gentle as I put them into the water and let them soak. Left it there for, I don't know, like 20-30 minutes or so. Took it out, whirled it around outside. Basically what I do is I'll squeeze out as much water as I can, take it outside, and then just spin it around in a circle, and then grab it by a different side, spin it around a circle. I'll do that a few more times. And then I hung it up to dry. It completely transformed the way this fiber looked. It felted the kind of the unspun slubs just enough that it really held together. When I've done singles in the past, if I was trying to really draft it out so that it was very loosely spun, I didn't want it to be too energized. I either had it be over energized and it was still really kinky when I was finished, or it was really underspun, and as I was pulling it off of the bobbins or winding it, it would break in pieces. This was just right. It never broke, not even once. I didn't have any extra fiber that came off of it, and I was just really, really pleased with the way it came out. So spun that all up Tuesday night, set the twist Tuesday night, Wednesday it spent drying, and then on Thursday and Friday I started knitting. Now I did use kind of sort of the interrupted cowl pattern that was suggested in the Paradise Fibers card that I talked about, but I didn't follow the pattern exactly. Their pattern kind of called for a cowl that could sit like this. It was longer, but it didn't look like it could wrap twice around your neck, and I wanted to have that option. So instead of casting on, I think they called for like 150 stitches. Oh, so anyways, hold on, go back a second. So I ended up in those about 6 ounces of fiber with about 206 yards worth of yarn. And the pattern for the interrupted cowl called for like 154, because they were using a commercial yarn in that pattern. So I figured I would have enough, but like I said, I wanted to be a slightly different size. And so instead of casting on the 110 stitches, might have to go back and look, 150, 110, I think it was 110 stitches. I decided to cast on 175 stitches, and I did that on a US size 10 circular needle. I think it was a 24 inch. So I cast those on, joined them in the round to knit, and I just started knitting in a circle. Whenever I got to the places in the yarn that had like the slubs, I don't know, let me get that back on. I don't know if you can see it very well, but kind of like right here, when I got to the really thick parts of the yarn that were in the non-sparkly fiber, I purled instead of knit. And so you can see it kind of has this little bit of a bobble pattern. Let's see if I can get a better picture to put up as well. And as I was knitting it, I kind of remembered why I liked singles as yarn. I normally stay away from it because it's a little bit more fragile than something that's been plied, but it does create this really like beautiful kind of squishy textured sort of feel to it. It's really, really nice. I love it. In general, love the Humbug Merino. Did not really care for the sparkly stuff. As I was spinning, Ivan, my oldest dog, decided to sit between me and my wheel. So I was like spinning, I was drafting over his head. And at one point I looked down and the poor guy had sparkles all over his head. He had a sparkle like caught in the corner of his eye that I had to pull out for him. He had sparkles caught on like his whiskers and his like little jowls, cheeks around the side. So I had to brush him off and then shoo him out of the way, move his blanket over. But I ended up with sparkles all over the dog. It was all over the floor. It was all over me. I was wearing my pajamas at that point, so it was kind of late. And so when I went downstairs and washed my hands, I got sparkles on the towel. I went to bed, I got sparkles in my bed. I'm gonna be finding sparkles for the rest of my life. It's like spilling glitter in your house. It never goes away. I was worried that once I got it knit up, that the sparkles would be really itchy. They're really not. Like, if you feel it, you kind of think that they would be itchy, but it's fine enough that around the back of my neck, I don't really feel it at all. So while I liked the project, the yarn is nice. I would probably not repurchase the sparkle yarn just because it was so sparkly and now it has kind of a mohair sort of halo to it, but sparkles. Which is not really my thing. I did love the Humbug Merino though. But anyways, in the end, even though I was kind of nervous about it as I was knitting it, once I got it blocked out, it actually kind of calmed down those peaks. They don't stick out quite as much anymore. I blocked it kind of aggressively. So it has this just really, really nice pattern to it and really nice texture. And I'm almost kind of imagining now doing this with like a blue background and then a white slub. And then when you knit it up, it would look like clouds in the sky, which would be super cute either for an adult cowl or scarf. But imagine that on a kid, like how cute would that be? In this project, I did use pretty much all 206 yards. I did have a little bit left over. Yeah, so I might have used more like 600 or not 600, that'd be a lot. All 200 yards of it and had like 6 yards left over or so. I was just worried I wouldn't have enough to bind off, so I cut it pretty close, but that's what that ended up like. And one of the things I really like about it too is the fact that you can double it up. So you can give it a twist. Always takes me forever to style these, but you can twist it like that. And then it's still slack enough that it's like out and around your neck. It's not, I hate it when you have the cowls and they're so bulky that like it's up and around your face. It's really great for outside when it's cold, but inside it's really hot to wear. But this one, it's narrow enough and light enough that you can style it a little bit more loosely. You can also, which I was experimenting with, I didn't bring my shawl pin with me so I can't fully show you. But you can also drop it down just around your shoulders and then take a shawl pin and hold it together on the side over here, and then you get this kind of cute shoulder wrap. You could also adjust the number of stitches around, which would give you a shorter but possibly wider cowl. So lots of options that you could do with this one. You could put a little shawl pin in the front to hold that closed like that. Just whatever you want to do. So in the end, highly recommend that interrupted cowl pattern. It is free online, but basically you just cast on however many stitches you want, knit around in a circle. When you come to your slub, purl it, and that's pretty much it. Block when you're all finished. So pretty standard pattern, not something that you even really need to look up. Yeah, so in the end, it was a really great project, really enjoyed it. Would not buy the sparkle yarn again, definitely would recommend the Humbug Merino though. So if you have any questions about how I did this project, or you make one of your own and you want to let me know how it goes in the comments, that would be great. So thanks for checking out another unboxing, and I'll see you again next month.